no doubt, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Where are my most beautiful queens in the house? Where are my most beautiful queens in the house?
Hey everybody, it's your girl Jamila. Welcome to the Queen's Address. Welcome into the Queendom. Today is a very, very special day. I am sitting in the presence of R&B soul royalty. Teedra Moses is in the building. How you feeling, Teedra?
Hey girl, hey, how you doing? I'm good.
I'm doing good. You look amazing.
Thank you.
You just killed the stage at the Ohio Expo.
I had so much fun at the Ohio Black Expo.
Yes.
I mean, Columbus treated me kind. I'm grateful.
Well, you know the city's been buzzing for a while about you coming to do the expo. Did you see that crowd out there?
Yes, I did.
Yes,
I don't come here
we love
often.
you.
So when I saw them, I was like, oh, y'all singing my words. You
Yes,
know? It was
yes.
nice. It was nice.
No, we're so thankful. Like I said, you know what? I was just telling you off camera that I love that there's a whole new audience coming to know your music. And I just want to know, how does that make you feel to see like everyone enjoying your song? I mean, it's going viral on TikTok and stuff, and your Tiny Desk performance. How does that make you feel?
I feel very blessed. I say that word a lot, and people think I say it lightly, but I do. I feel very blessed, and more than anything, grateful because people don't know I didn't get paid for that album for like the first, I don't know when. I had to go in and renegotiate something with the new owners of that owned the license on the masters, and so I just feel like ultimately it's God telling me, trust me, this is all my timing. I've made music after that album, but that album is the one that sticks with people, and I just feel like timing for people to receive certain things, or for it to get the notoriety. I've done the work all these 20 years, but I guess at this point, people are paying attention.
Yeah. Well, I'm just happy to see you getting all your flowers.
I praise God.
Well, we already know that you were talented, but I'm just glad to see a new audience.
You know what? To be honest with you, that's what I love.
Yeah.
The people that have been riding with me forever and telling everybody to tell somebody, they're very happy to see that their person is getting flowers. So I love that.
Yeah, I love
that
for
for them,
you. Yeah. No, I've been watching it too lately with Maya and Ashanti and just a lot of people from your draft class getting discovered by a new audience. And I'm like, we hear artists complain about streaming, but in a lot of ways it's an introduction to people that don't buy CDs. They didn't buy CDs or records.
I wouldn't be here without streaming. Pandora was around when I first started, and it was the only one really around. And people would say, I heard you on Pandora. I was listening to Jill Scott's station, or I was listening to I heard you on Pandora. So as much as I want my money, where the camera's at? I want my money.
No, Carrie Hilson talks about that.
Yeah, I want my money. I own this publishing. I own this music. So I want my money. But at the same time, when I started, if it was still just radio, no one would ever know
Absolutely.
who I was.
Yeah, no, I'm glad to see it's happening like that.
And shout out to the Mayas and the Ashantis, because those girls still look good.
Yes.
The music is timeless and it still works,
And they're on tour. I love that y'all are all on tour and doing festivals and standing Beyonce, like everybody. I'm so glad you guys come out for the fans, because we want to see y'all.
I'm glad. I'm really glad. And also gaining new young people, which is pretty cool.
Absolutely. And so I wanted to ask about, you've been very clear that your support system and your team is why you're able to do so many phenomenal things in your career, within your career. And so I wanted to ask you about your mindset, or like your mental toughness, because we see a lot of things in the news lately, people's houses getting raided, people going to court, and you've maintained like a very peaceful profile in your career. And so how do you do that? How do you manage that?
Because I'm really normal. I'm not like out here trying to be a celebrity. What I mean? I'm just normal. I tell people all the time, I'm just living a normal life, just like you, just like everybody else maintain their life. I maintain my life, and living a real life, raised my children, went to work, did my job. This ain't my world. I just step in and do my job, and I go back to the normalcy. I'm not a celebrity. I really just live my life.
Yes, you are. Oh my God.
I don't like that.
You don't feel like a celebrity?
I don't care to be.
Yeah.
That's not my thing. I'm going to the grocery store looking crazy. You know what I mean? I'm cooking my food, taking care of my kids. I think that more than anything, I just live my life. I think when you get caught up in all that's outside of yourself, drama will come your way. But I just be living my life, girl. I'm I'm not into, like, I think you should celebrate doctors, teachers, stuff like that. And I'm not mad at people that are artists, that are amazing, that are celebrities. But I'm not. I'm the person that you can see on the street and say, hey girl, what's up? And I'm like, hey girl, what's up? Like,
so down
and
to
I also am the person, if you say something crazy to me, I'm gonna say something crazy back.
Okay.
You know, so I'm not a celebrity. I'm not. I'm just a person. Don't celebrate me. Celebrate your mama who brought you into the world. You know what I mean? Call me your friend.
Yeah.
I'm your home girl. I'm your neighbor. I'm your cousin. But I'm not a celebrity. Don't celebrate me. Don't put me on a pedestal, because I promise you, I'm gonna give you a reason to knock me off. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm just understanding. I think that's how I've maintained my peace.
Right.
It's just being myself and living a normal life, and not putting myself in a space that I don't want people to put me in. Because when people put you in that space, it's easy for you to disappoint them. If you just be yourself, what can they expect, you know? But you to be yourself.
But I think that's probably part of your secret, like well, maybe not a secret, but your formula to why you've been so successful is because you're so authentic.
I'm just me. I don't even understand how. Sometimes I wish I could tuck it back a little bit, but it's just, I don't know how.
Like that don't feel right.
Tonight, they said you cannot curse. So it was like a couple of times. I don't talk a lot when I can't curse, because I curse a lot.
I do too. I listen to a lot of hip hop. Oh my gosh.
I curse a lot because I think the words are great. It's not, people say, sometimes they say people curse because they don't have a big vocabulary. I have a huge vocabulary.
I know you do.
I just like curse words.
I listen to your songs.
They're beautiful.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Curse words express your emotions in ways no other word can.
Yeah.
I don't care how deep you go into your vocabulary bag.
Right.
There's not a word that can take care of, like, MF. That's the word. You have to use that word. You know what I mean?
And I hear that accent. I know you a good cusser too.
Good.
I hear that accent.
My
I know you
taught me, baby.
Woo,
Yeah.
baby. Yeah, New Orleans, right? You're from New Orleans? Yeah. So you know if you get cussed out, it's on.
Oh, yeah. And the thing is people don't expect it. You know, they don't expect it.
Well, because you're so pretty.
That's why today I asked for the sophistiratchets, because just because you're sophisticated and classy and elegant don't mean that you don't have in the root of yourself some ratchet.
Yeah.
Everybody needs some ratchet.
Absolutely. No, I'm so glad you said that, because a lot of people, I do the podcast and I listen to a lot of hip hop. I listen to aggressive hip hop when I'm working out.
Me too.
Like, I'm talking about Lil Wayne and
all that.
I'm listening to Jay Electronica and I'm like, you know what? If my kids knew what I listen to, I'm selling drugs in the hood in my mind on the treadmill, and I'm on the block like John Morant. Yeah, I know they would probably be like, "Mom, you are crazy." I have no but I also understand duality.
Yes, me too.
You have to be professional when you have time and place. But when you're on that treadmill, you got to kick some butt.
Yes.
You got to punch the people in the mouth with your grills in.
Yes.
So it's like, it's just going to have to work out that way.
Exactly.
But I wanted to ask you about your songwriting. A lot of people talk about your vocal ability and how they could tell it's your voice when you're singing, but a lot of people don't know about your songwriting as well. So I wanted to ask you, do you find joy in both, or is it like a little bit more as a performer or a little bit more as a songwriter?
I find a lot of joy in songwriting, but I find the most joy in writing songs for myself.
Yeah.
The songs that I've written for other people were never really written for them. I just was writing songs.
Okay.
I don't think I'm very good I'm not good for work for hire. I'm not as good of a songwriter that way, because then I'm just thinking. I'm trying to think, well, what would this person... Thinking for me doesn't go well with art.
Yeah.
Doing goes well with art. Just letting it flow and doing it. So I like writing, but not particularly so much for someone. I just make an outfit, and if it fits you, you can have it. You know what I mean?
That's dope. I was reading about like Bob Dylan and Paul McCartney and how they made a ton of money writing.
Yeah.
And when I was researching, just coming up with the questions before your interview, and I'm like, I wonder if it's easier or like more enjoyable, because you've written for like Christina Milian, right? And like there's a few others, and we were talking a little bit about off camera about how everyone from your draft class is still touring and still pushing forward and doing great. And it was a whole world opened up when I learned about songwriting and how awesome it could be for artists to know how to do both.
Yeah. Well, I know how to tell it more than I do. I know how to tell it more than someone else does for me.
Yeah.
The collaborators that I've ever had working with me writing are my friends who know me. Someone who's been around me for a long time, because it's so personal to me.
Yeah.
It's very, very personal. These people that you speak of from the draft class, like Ashanti and Maya, they are also writers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why this stuff sustains, because it's truly coming from you.
Right.
I'm not knocking performers.
Not at all.
I think the performers are amazing. And if we didn't have performers, then who would sing these songs that we write?
Mm-hmm.
But I think my preference is always to write my song, sing my song, perform my song, because that's all my story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And giving songs to other people is wonderful. Like simple things, like recently SZA sang it live, and it was just like super cool to hear her singing my song, her interpretation of it. You know, these things are really, really cool. When I hear someone interpret it, even when I saw Christina Milian on R&B Money, she was like, yeah, I kind of took a lot of what Teedra did, and that's super cool to me when I can kind of like give an outfit to someone. You know what I mean? It's super cool. But my purpose
to be
is
inspiration.
Yeah, listen. At the end of the day, if I can create something and someone likes it enough to sing it, that's a huge honor. Because I don't want to sing it other anybody else's song. So I'm on the other side of that. So I know how much of an honor that is for someone to sing your song.
Absolutely. Well, oh my goodness. I love that. I had the same question for Anne Marie. And she was like, at first when, I guess who was it? I think it was Ariana Grande. Mm-hmm. And 2 Chainz redid her song. Mm-hmm. And she's like, at first I was like, oh, what they're doing? What is this generation doing? And she's like, I actually listened to it, was like, oh, this is the bomb. This is good.
Yeah, it's really good, especially when you own your publishing. You know, we're not going to turn down no money,
as long
honey.
as I can get my cut, y'all can do it, you know.
I mean, like, you know.
Keep it classy, but
I get a lot of, I don't care what you keep it. That ain't my business. All my
as
business
long as you run
is
the
ching, ching,
check.
ching. Yeah.
Yesterday's
because
price.
I'm constantly getting licensing, you know, people want to license my song or sample it or whatever. I'm constantly getting those things, and I'm like, okay. And the less I like it, the more I charge you.
Yeah.
If I like it a lot, I might not charge you nothing. Like if you're an up and coming artist and I really like it, I'll just give it, you know, not give it, but we'll work something out. But if I don't like it, I'm not gonna say no. I'm just gonna ask you for an astronomical amount of money.
That's right.
They be giving it too, girl.
That's right. That's right. Gotta get that check. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
My favorite conversation.
Yeah. So I'd like to know about Taj and Raz from Coast Contra.
Yes, Taj and Raz are my beautiful angels. That's my sons, my twin sons, and they are part of a group called Coast Contra.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, while we're speaking on writing, they've been co-writers with me. Some of my favorite co-writers. We did a song on K Tronada's album, Bubba, the one that he got a Grammy for, called Culture. They co-wrote that with me, you know, and they write for themselves. They just started writing K-pop, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got it, give it to the people if they want it. You know what I mean? That's the way I see it. But they're doing really good. They just came off a tour in Europe, sold out shows in London, Paris, Germany, like doing really, really well.
Yeah.
You know, this is the most I'm proud of. It's my children, because it wasn't easy to raise children and doing what I do. It went up and it went down, and sometimes kids can be not very understanding of a parent's lifestyle when they can't constantly be there, or when it's low and they can't get you what you need. And the fact that they chose this career as well made me feel like I did okay. And that they're doing really well in it, and they ask me advice. And
so you're like, listen, do that, don't do that.
Yeah, sometimes they listen, sometimes they don't, but they have to take their own journey. But I'm so proud of them. That's my best friend. Yes, that's my best friend.
Yeah, that was just, I love the joint they have with J. Ross and Taylor Kweli.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that joint. So they got so much energy.
Yeah.
You know?
I tell them they're like a rap boy band. Because if you see them on stage, they got choreography and everything. They rehearse so much. I'm like, I have a whole band and I don't rehearse this much. But they're just professionals. Adamant professionals.
Oh, they have a great vibe. I love it.
Thank you.
So I have one more question. I know your management is ready for you. But you have such a great reputation as a professional. What will you say to an up-and-coming singer that wants to get in the entertainment business?
First, I always say be good at it. That's the first thing, you know. If you are really, really genuinely like doing something that you're born to do, the world will catch on to it if you just persevere and keep going. Really sharpen your skills, you know. Learn this business that you're in. you don't have to know everything, but learn where your money comes from.
Yeah.
Find you a team.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's your home girl. I don't care if it's your mama. Find you people around you that believe in you, because you are the center. You need protection. And that protection moves with you everywhere you go. You know what I mean? Find you a team, be good at what you do, and never stop. Because your time could be 10 years from now. Your time could be tomorrow. Stay ready, don't stop. You know? Stick to what you're doing, don't quit.
And be consistent.
Be consistent. Yes, be consistent. And you'll get there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you'll get there.
And so I got one more question before we head out. Everybody wanted me to ask you about the Tiny Desk performance.
Yes.
How did it feel to go viral off of that Tiny Desk performance? And then to be compared to Felicia Rashad so much. I didn't want to ask, but you get compared to Felicia Rashad.
No, I want to say this too. I try to say it as much as I can, because people have this confusion that I have a problem with being. Who the hell would have a problem with being compared to Felicia Rashad? She's the most beautiful woman in the world. I just don't see it.
Right.
And it could be because I don't view myself. I think I'm gorgeous.
Yes, you're beautiful.
But I don't view myself as beautiful as she is.
Yes.
She's extremely beautiful. I grew up my whole life thinking she was beautiful.
Yeah.
So that was just like, it wasn't like a bad thing. I just I don't see it. My son like, Mom, I see it. My sister's like, I see it. And I'm looking in the mirror real hard, and I just don't see it. But it was cool. It was really cool. And the Tiny Desk thing was just something I always wanted to do. I've been watching it since the beginning. I did a lot of work in DC. That's one of my cities, you know. So I wanted to do it for a long time, and it kept getting pushed back. And Cousin B finally hit me like, let's do it for the 20-year anniversary. He hit me the year before. And I was supposed to do it in Black Music Month, but it didn't work out. And when I got there, he said, you thought this was going to never happen. I said, no, I just knew it was timing. One thing I've learned in this business is to trust God's timing.
That's it.
It's much better than yours. Honey.
That's it. And you know that's the truth. And so I wanted to ask, before we close out, how can fans follow you and supporters follow you on social media?
Yes, I'm at Teedra Moses on all of them. TeedraMoses. All of them.
On all of them?
Yeah.
Okay. What's next?
Next, we are putting out an EP where we are reimagining about 5 to 6 songs from Complex Simplicity, and we're also shooting a live performance that we're going to mesh into a documentary for the 20 years of Complex Simplicity that we're putting out before the year ends. And just to kind of put a button on this year of celebrating, you know, we're going to put a button on it. And I think that those that really enjoyed the album will enjoy hearing some of the artists that I bring on to help reimagine it with me, and some of the musical things I'm doing that it's changing. It's really cool.
Yeah, this sounds like something we need to be on the lookout for.
Please do.
Yeah, I can't wait to support it. Teedra Moses, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're a very beautiful woman.
Thank you. So are you, my dear.
You have a beautiful soul as well.
Thank you.
I'm so thankful you could do this interview today. Thank you so much.
Thank y'all for having me.
You're a very powerful queen.
I try to, I'll say this and then I'll leave you. We all have the power of God in us. I think everybody look for God in the sky, right?
Yes.
I found when I was in my lowest low, God is right here. And we all have the power of God in us. And so we should tap in.
I'm not going to cry today. Listen.
We should tap in. I'm just going to tell you, we got to tap into that, because the words I speak, it happens because the power is in me. But if you can pray all day on your knees, and you can ask God, and you ask God, and he can actually even give you these things. But if you don't believe that power is in you, it'll crumble. How do you sustain? The power of God is in you, you know?
I believe that.
I know you do. I can see it in your eyes, baby. I can see it. Thank y'all so much for having me.
Thank you so much.
God bless. God bless.
And thank you for tuning in to the Queen's Address. Peace King, Peace Queen.
Queen.